problem. Everybody suffers from this. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting. But we just need for the hamsters at YouTube to do their magic stuff. Okay, let's just put that in. Brilliant, that's working. And I'm just going to post that link into the Facebook in case anybody there wants to join us. Sorry, just read the news that Tesla's doing something. Not Tesla, what's his name? Elon Musk. Right, hang on, let's just ignore that for a minute. Just go there. There we go, and I'll just post the link in if I could find it. Is that one of them? That might be one of them. Oh, I don't need that bit. I won't insist on doing that bit. Anyway, right, that's that. And if we're lucky, I don't know where it went. Anyway, where did it went? Hang on. Technology. Right, why doesn't that come up? Let's click it, see if it's the right link. Yeah, anyway, it is. Right, okay, brilliant. So there we go. Right, so as I say, universal problem. So whoop. So what are we talking about? So welcome to the Real You Show, number 26. This is about a universal problem, apparently, called overcoming rejection. Rejection. How do you feel about rejection? Do you like to be rejected? Do you like to be ignored and rejected and even told that you're useless? I'm thinking not. That's why it's a universal problem. And it's one of the big reasons why most of us don't do anything. Because it's safer to do nothing. Because when you do nothing, you don't get rejected. It's not really, that's a bit of a, Black Crow kind of logic. Because if you don't do anything, you're never going to, do anything and get, the rewards of doing something. But it's easier, safer to not do anything. Because then we don't get rejected. So, but it's a big issue because nobody wants to make a fool of themselves. Nobody wants to be told that they're crap. Nobody doesn't want to expose themselves to not meeting the bar. And, unfortunately, the reality is until we do it and get it out there, we've no idea if we've made it or not, if we've met the bar or not. Okay, because we have to get it out there in order to get the feedback. So we can't be afraid of the feedback, otherwise we'll just never do it and we'll never get the feedback. So how do we cope with that? Because we don't know if we've screwed up until we screw up, basically. And, if you say to yourself, you get out of bed in the morning and go, I'm going to screw up today, not so fantastic. Not so fantastic. Actually, I can take the Virgin Sucks sign off, I think, maybe. Unless this show goes down. So I'm going to leave it there just for tonight. Then I'll take it down tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Next time we do the show. Monday, probably. So nobody gets up thinking, I want to suck at this. I want to get, canned tomatoes thrown at me for being so useless and shit. Nobody does that. So how do we get around this? Because, as I say, we don't know that we're shit until we actually shit. So how do we overcome rejection? So obviously we could be perfect. Unfortunately, nobody is perfect. Nobody does anything which is perfect. It can always be better. So, we can try our best to be professional, is the way I would describe it, because, professional means that it's good enough. Okay, but good enough doesn't mean that we won't get rejected. So that's an issue. So what do we do? So the first thing is the way I handle this is this. And the first thing is your why. Why do you do it? Okay? And the first thing is it should be for you. Okay, when I say I'm going to say it needs to be for me. Okay, but when you do it, you need to say it's for me, so that it's for you and not for me. I'm being flippant now, but anyway, but you get the plan. So yeah, you need to do it for yourself. Okay, that that's a lot of effort, wouldn't it? Okay, you need to do it for yourself. That's number one. Number two, I'm even gonna. I don't use the button. There we go. I'm just going to duplicate that so I don't make that pig's fest up again. The second thing is, see, I wasn't good enough. I'm going to be ridiculed now. Anyway, no, I'm not. Because I'm doing it for me. I don't care about you. So the second thing that we need to do is you need to understand, or sorry, no, you need to, it needs to meet your mission and your congruency, and basically to know it's the right thing. Okay, so in other words, you're doing it, from a good place and for the right reason. Okay, so in other words, yeah, actually, I probably should have just called it finger trouble. It's your core values. Sorry, I almost forgot what it was called then. Because if you're doing it for your core values, it's basically everything you've ever believed in your life, basically. So, it's what you believe. So you do what you believe. That's much better than doing something you don't believe. But if you're doing it, because it's your core values and you believe it's the right thing to do, and in the bigger picture and in your vision, other people may not share it, but if this is what you believe at your, then that's your own justification for doing it. Okay, then the big one comes, which is basically the problem with life, really, or the problem with people, actually. And the problem is that we try, we always try, even though we should know better. I'm going to use the button now because I don't want to struggle with that again. There we are, and make myself look foolish. Why would I do that? So the problem with people is we try and please everybody. Okay, that's what we want to do. We don't want anybody to, dislike us or what we've done or not appreciate what we've done or whatever. But the reality is that's never, ever, 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 ever going to happen. Okay? It's just basically not physically possible. Because there'll always be somebody who will hate it. Now, we can argue about the percentages. Go on then. No? All right. Well, I'll use my percentages. And if you're not going to argue with me, I'll use my percentages. On a good day, and I mean this, on a good day, 20% of the people, that you encounter might like what you do and might like you and might like what you do. Okay, 20%, 1 in 5. Okay, you can argue with me. Go on, argue with me. But whatever the percentage is, okay, that's an example figure. And I think it's fair enough. And sometimes it's going to be even lower, especially if what you're doing is a bit fringe. In fact, I'm going to make that yellow. Which means I'm going to have to change the text, of course. So that means that 80% of the people will not like what you do. And the important thing to realize here is, it's that old cliche, it's not me, it's you, is that, nothing you can change will make them change their minds. Okay, so you're gonna instinctively want to change what you're doing, so that they do like you or like what you're doing. And I'm just telling you, straight out of the gate, that's a non-starter. Okay, it's a non-starter. Nothing you can do will change. Nothing you can change will make them change their minds. Okay, they're just not gonna like it or you on principle. just because it's a Wednesday, or just because your hair's, in one direction, or they just won't. Okay, and we can go into the metaphysics of that if you like, and talk about how people resonate at different frequencies, and if you put two people who are non-compatible together, they're going to be non-compatible. That's it. It's just some people are different. It's not even men are from Mars and women are from Venus. It's everybody's from somewhere else, and they're going to resonate at their frequency, and you're going to resonate at yours. And sometimes it's going to work, and sometimes it isn't. But that's kind of the core meta reason. It's nothing to do with what you're doing or who you are as such, or what you stand for, or what you're trying to do. It's just that people will instinctively not like you and not like what you do. And when they hear it, they're either going to like it or they're not going to like it, and that's down to them. It isn't down to you. I mean, honestly, it really isn't down to you. So the way I've always tried to live my life, it's hard to do. I mean, it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. I've tried to only worry about the 20%, who will like what I do, who I can help. That's the other way I describe this is, people who will let us help them, or, that kind of thing. So I'm always trying to focus on that. But obviously, it's hard. It's hard when this 80% hate you. It's hard. Okay, there's no, you can try and dismiss it and let, water roll off a duck's back and all that kind of stuff. But it's hard. People are being negative towards you. It's hard to, to not absorb that negativity. Now, the big problem comes is that, and I guess that should be a bigger circle, is that, we don't know what order is going to happen. So you could spend 10 years of your life, hopefully not, but you could spend 10 years of your life only meeting, negative people who don't like what you do. Okay, I hope not, but it could be. We don't know what order they're going to come in. Or it could be that you instantly out the gate, you get out the door one morning and all you can meet are people who love you and love what you do. Okay, but we can't be sure. We just don't know what waves or what order they're going to come in, or what percentage at once, and whatever. The only thing I can reassure you is it's very, very, very unlikely. I don't know of a single case, but I'm not universal, so I may have missed some. But it's very unlikely that you'll never meet, your 20%. Okay, and we can call them various things, but in music, a few fans, because that's basically who we want, what we need. Okay. What have I done there? There we go. But whatever you want to call them. But the 20%, and I'm going to put that in, who we can help. Okay, and actually even that's not right. It's well, it is that, and will let us help them. Because if they don't want our help, then we can't help them. Let's just be real about this, and as I say, we can argue about the percentages, but I'm fairly sure that I'm right. That's it really. No, I'm being funny, but I am fairly sure that I'm right. And honestly, I think sometimes this figure can be a lot lower, particularly if you're doing fringe stuff. As I said, it might only be 5%, but it doesn't matter, because that's 5% of the whole world, or of the people you meet anyway. So long as there's somebody, that's fine. But if you think of it, well, in financial terms, okay, you literally, could get away with 1,000, but 5,000 would be brilliant. 10,000 would be, out of this world. So if you can even only meet 10,000 people out of the I forget what it is now, the 20 billion people in the world, whatever it is, then you're doing phenomenally well. Okay, because all we need is 1,000. So if you can get 10,000, you're doing phenomenally well. Okay, as I say though, they won't all come at once. Okay, we may not meet them for ages, for decades. Okay, but again, as we started, the more you put yourself out there, the more you look for them, the more you reach out, the more likely you are to find them. Certainly, if you hide, put your head in the sand, and you never, put your stuff out there, or reach out, or put your ideas out there, or do whatever it is you're going to do, then you're certainly, almost certainly 99.99% never going to succeed at it. So we have to put it out there, even though we don't want the rejection. Okay, but the only way to really beat rejection really is to put yourself out there. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in because I think that's super important. Okay, and it's obviously counterintuitive because it doesn't make no sense at all, does it? But put yourself out there to combat rejection. Okay, now obviously you're putting yourself out there. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get rejection. So it wasn't how to avoid rejection. How to avoid rejection is to bury your head in the sand and not have a life. Okay, but not having a life is not really an option. It's not, it's no good. It's not productive. It's not what you want. So we have to put yourself out there, to combat rejection. It's the number one rule. And the more you put yourself out there, as I say, the more likely you are to find your 20%, your true fans. Okay? So that's kind of basically it. So, but if you look at what we've said, okay, the prime reason for doing anything is because it's for you. Okay? And, so it's either, it might be many of these things, but, it's either fun or it's a relief or it's just something that, as my favorite term is, puts you in the zone. Okay. And being in the zone is when you're so into it that you're not distracted by anything else. Okay. You're not checking your emails and your Facebook and your tweets every 20 minutes or every 2 minutes. You're doing what you're doing because you're really into it, and you might even forget to eat, and you might forget to go to the toilet, and all sorts of things. You just really want to do what you're doing. That's what being in the zone. What did I say? That's what being in the zone, means. So anything that you can do that puts you in the zone. It's supposed to be puts. That's what it was. Missed the S. Anything that puts you in the zone, that's basically for you, and that's great. Now, I'll tell you why, that sounds selfish, doesn't it? But it isn't. Because the other thing about it is that people will latch onto your energy. Okay, so if you're having a great time, then they're going to be able to tap into your great time. If you're being a miserable so-and-so, then all they can do is, feel miserable as well. Okay, but if you're having fun, if you're in the zone, if you're excited about what you're doing, okay, then other people are going to, be able to latch onto that. So it's actually not selfish at all because, if you're not in a good place, you can't put other people in a good place. Okay, that's the number one rule, really. If you're not in a good place, you can't help other people be in a good place. Okay, so that's why it's not selfish. Okay, anyone who says it's selfish just doesn't get it, and just ignore them. Okay, because they're one of the 80% who don't like you, or like something else. Anyway, so number one rule, do stuff for you, okay? and have fun doing it, and all that kind of stuff, because that's why we do it, And as I say, if you're in a good place, then you can help other people to be in a good place. And if you're not enjoying what you're doing, if it makes you miserable or frustrates you, or all that kind of stuff, then it's not helping anyone. It's not helping you, and it won't help other people. So do it. Number one rule: do it for yourself. Okay, it's not selfish because, as I say, if you're not in a good place, you can't bring other people into that good place with you. Number two, do stuff that meets your core values. If you believe it's the better thing, the big thing to do in the big picture, then that's your justification for doing it. If you're trying to bring happiness and positivity and help people out, then that's the big idea. Okay, so let's do that. So again, if you know you're doing it for the right reasons, you're doing it from a good place. Maybe you're not the best at it in the world, but you're trying to do your bit. You're trying to share what you've got with other people who haven't got it because they need it. Okay, and we can't all get it off of one guru. And people, as I say, resonate with different people. So there's going to be a ton of people who don't even like that guru. He's got his own 80% who hate him. Okay, we've all got that issue. So but as I say, if you're doing it because it's what you believe, and you're trying to do the right thing, then that's your reason for doing it. And no matter what anybody says, doesn't matter because you're doing it for the right reason. And then number three, as we said, is that you're not going to be able to please everyone. Okay, it's just not possible. Okay, it would have to be such a low common denominator thing that people wouldn't even notice it, probably, pretty much. So we all have our true fans, people who really like us and really like what we do, and we all have people who hate us and hate what we do. Okay, as I say, we can argue about the percentages. I'm still waiting for you to argue with me. Go on, argue with me. Anyway, no, okay. So I'm going to stick to my percentages. But, we all have, these people over here. And, basically, we don't wish them ill will or anything, but we just need to avoid them. Avoid them like the plague. And certainly, don't listen to them. Okay, because as I say, no matter what we did, we would never be able to please them. Okay, that's the point. It's not that we're doing something slightly wrong, or or we it isn't good enough, and we could do something to make it meet their standard. That kind of stuff. That isn't it. They're just not going to like you or it. What you do for a reason. And as I say, it's going to be something to do with metaphysics. It's nothing to do actually with you or what you've done. But just get over it. Just accept it. It's not important. We need to concentrate on the people who will let us help them, who we can help, because they're the people that matter to us. There's no point spending time, trying to appease people who will never like what we do. I hope that you really get. I hope that's the number one takeaway from this show: is stop trying to please people who you can never please. It's just pointless. Okay, it doesn't help them. It will never help them. It won't help you. It will never help you. Okay, and it means that all the time we're concentrating on these idiots, we're not actually helping the people who will let us help them, who we can help. And that's a crime. Okay, we need to spend our energy and our limited time on this planet to help the people who will let us help them, who like what we do. Okay, so if you follow these three rules, do it for yourself, make sure it complies to your congruency to your own core values, and do it, and never stop doing it. Until you find the 20% of the people who will let you help them or who will like it. Okay? Because that's the only thing. What you're doing is perfect. You're doing it for the right reason, and you're doing it for yourself. You're enjoying it. You're putting the energy into it. People can feed off of that. And if it's not happening for you in terms of success, exposure, money, whatever it is, feedback, then it's not because of what you're doing, it's because you haven't found your 20% yet. Okay? And that's all it is. But the takeaway from the show basically is that we can't try and avoid rejection. Okay, and let me put another one in here. Okay, here we go. So you can't avoid rejection by burying your head in the sand. Okay? Because that means you haven't tried anything. And you'll never find your 20%, who you can help. Okay, so that's a bit long-winded, but that's the facts. Okay, so what's the opposite of that? What does that mean? Let me just a color. Okay, so you can't avoid rejection by burying your head in the sand, because that means you haven't tried anything, and you'll never find your 20%. Well, your 20% that you can help, who you can help. Okay, so what's the opposite of that? It's what we said earlier. Put yourself out there to combat rejection. Okay, I know it's counterintuitive. I know it's scary. Okay, and as I said, it's not a way, to avoid rejection. Okay, but the bigger picture, the gain, the plus side, it far outweighs negative. Let's get this so it fits. And it spells. It's because you have to give yourself a chance. Okay, and the more you put yourself out there, the more likely you are to find your 20% who you can help. And when I say who you can help, I mean who will like you, who will like what you do, that kind of stuff. Okay, and that's basically it. So that's the show. I hope that you can really, that you're going to take away, what we've said here, because it's super important. Okay, and as I say, it's a universal problem. It's the biggest reason why people don't do anything. And as I say, the cure, as counterintuitive as it is the more you put yourself out there, the more likely you are to find the people that you can help. Okay, and if you don't do that, you're just going to basically, not live. You won't have had, a life. You won't be fulfilled. Okay, so if you want to be fulfilled, you have to take the risk and put yourself out there, and and risk being rejected, and it's not even a risk. You will be rejected. Okay, because the 80% will always reject you. But the big picture is that doesn't matter, because we don't care about the 80% who reject us. We care about the 20% who will let us help them. Okay, and we can't not help these people because of these people. Okay, they can't win and spoil it for us and all of these people. Okay, it's not on. So we have to do what we do for these people because it's the right thing to do, and because it puts us in the zone. You do it for yourself. Okay, and that creates positive energy, and then you can share that. Okay, so that's it. So as I say, take away the show, put yourself out there more to combat rejection. So if you're worried about rejection, just push harder, just reach out harder, Just get yourself out there more. Okay, so that's it. Nice short show. I'm just going to let YouTube run for a little while because, it needs to for some reason. And I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now. Bye-bye.